Okay, sorry that you weren't in class today, or maybe this video is going to somebody who just needs a recap on what to do. So we talked about in class that a parallelogram, which is this shape, this shape, this shape, it's kind of like a rectangle that's fallen over. It's a rectangle that does not have a 90-degree angle. Has the same formula for finding area as a rectangle. We showed how parallelograms and rectangles were like brothers, or they're very similar to each other. So in part one here, it's asking you to just draw the altitude, and we discussed how the base and the altitude have to be perpendicular to each other. And so what I did is I drew a line from the top to the bottom, creating a 90-degree angle. Now over here I did it inside, but over here I did it outside of the figure, and you can do that for either one. So let me show you again on this one. If I were, and I'm just going to eyeball it today, precision would be having to use a protractor, but I'm just going to eyeball it and say here's my 90-degree angle. So here would be my height or my altitude, which is perpendicular to the base. Then the next part is asking us to calculate the area of each figure. Well, we figured out that the area equals the base times the height or the altitude. So if I look at this first figure, it shows me the base, the height, and the length of one side. But I only need the base and the height. So if I highlight, here's my base and here's my height, all I need to do is multiply those two together. So the area would be 13 times 6, so that would be 78 centimeters squared. I need to have that squared because area is measuring in square units. If you do not have square units here, it's going to be wrong. Now, that's all you have to do for all of these problems, is find the base and the height. So on this figure, this is my base, this is my height. So I'm going to be multiplying those two numbers together. Looking at this figure, now this one looks really confusing, but again, all I need to do is find the base. This is the base. Here is the base of my parallelogram. Here is the height. It's how tall it is. So here's the height. All I got to do is multiply those two numbers together. But those are mixed numbers, so we have to remember how to do that. So you're going to have to dust off some of those skills and remember how to multiply fractions, decimals, and whole numbers. Looking at this figure, where's my base? I hope you said 4 1/3. Where's my height? Remember, height is always where you create a 90-degree angle with the base. Okay? On the back, Brittany and Sid were both asked to draw the height of a parallelogram. Their answers are below. So Brittany drew a height here with a dotted line, 90-degree angle to the base. Sid has the base here, the height here with this dotted line and this 90-degree angle. Are both Brittany and Sid correct? If not, who is correct? And explain your answer. I'm going to leave that up to you. Now, number 8. Does this rectangle and this parallelogram have the same area? Explain why or why not. So this is asking you to prove it. So you're going to have to find the area of this rectangle and the area of this parallelogram, and then be able to tell me, are they the same, why or why not. And then number 9, it says a parallelogram has an area of 20 3/10 centimeters squared and a base of 2.5 centimeters. Write an equation that relates the area to the base and height. Solve the equation to determine the height of the parallelogram. So if you wanted to, you could probably draw a picture of it right here if you for those of you that are visual and need that help. But what I would do, write an equation. You know that area equals base times height. I'm trying to find the area. The parallelogram has an area of 20 3/10 centimeters squared, and it has a base of 2.5 centimeters. I have to multiply that times something to equal that area. Well, I don't know what that is at the moment, but I can figure it out, and I know that you can too. Good luck.